Hello, Hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao, Namaste. Peace to all. This is Soulology, the science of the soul. Love all, possess nothing. Why is it important to know that statement? Because the importance of love in society is more important than what we're doing in today, because you have to see that what we're doing in today's society isn't really working for us personally. We have a lot of people today who hate each other for our nationality, for our race, even if we go deeper, for at times even our class, as we would say in today's society. We use all these individual areas of what we call, of course, individuation to perceive a person for being flawed and believing at the same point that someone is superior. Yet this doesn't work for us. We can constantly say certain things such as how competition helps the economy and everything, but it does not help the whole. We believe in winners and losers because of it instead of everybody winning. Love is important because of the simple fact that its main goal is to love all, no matter who you are, and unconditionally. So, if loving all is the key point, the key element, then it's important that in a world like this that we love all, because when getting to that point, it gives us a more of a chance to evolve ourselves. We live in a society that believes we are evolved and doesn't realize at this point in time we are still evolving each and every day. And how does this all work in a sense of evolving you by using love? Love is important because of the simple fact that the more love is grown around people, the more in a sense we would see more of us as the same. When we talk about, and we talked about this in the pink elephant in the room conversation, oneness. And the pink elephant in the room conversation will be in the description below for where you can find it. But we talk about oneness. And if you saw everybody as you, how would you treat yourself? It's important to know that we would treat ourselves a lot differently. We wouldn't look for equality, we would look to strive for fairness. And I will be giving a discussion more in detail about why that is. But it would give everybody a fair advantage and a fair chance instead of a certain amount of people a fair advantage or a fair chance. Everybody would have a chance to do whatever they desired to do, to grow to the length of wherever they desired to be, instead of what we do now. We hide, we keep secrets from other people so that no one can get what we have because we feel we need things, and yet we don't really know, in a sense, why do we need this stuff in the first place? Because when you really look at it, none of this is yours to begin with. You don't own a thing. You are a steward of all this, and that simply means just taking care of what you have in your possession. And many people, from businesses to people who own certain items, don't really take care of those things as life progresses, in treating people around you or treating what you use around you. We believe we possess it when we possess nothing. And on top of growing this, we did again talk about this in the Pink Elephant in the Room conversation. Don't complicate was, well, actually, my friend Martin had stated this. Don't complicate, meditate. Why is it important? When you look to meditate, you have a chance to know yourself a lot more and growing who you truly are as a person and loving who you are as a person. Loving yourself first is more important than anything else in the world because of the simple fact that it gives you a chance not to judge yourself, but to simply sit down with yourself. We stay sitting down in a silent place or in nature quietly by yourself and getting to know you for who you are, because it's vitally important that you start with the self before you change anything in your entire world. In order to change the world, first start with the self. If you don't start with the self, changing the world in a sense will be very difficult. Hence where I've come from, in a sense, from just experience, growing little by little to get to where I am today, where I'm talking to you about this information. I didn't decide firsthand to just create a channel like this. It took time for me to realize how important it was, how vital it was to love myself first in order to get to that position in the first place. And on top of that, what are you eating and what are you drinking? What you eat and what you drink plays a vital role in that, because of the fact that you're eating foods from other creatures' energy. When you eat animals, you have to realize the energy from that expresses its own emotion. And that emotion is now connected to you. It can lead to why you might be depressed, or even why certain people, they gorge on a lot of food. When I was depressed at one point, I ate a lot. Or I would eat a certain amount, a large amount, and then I wouldn't eat at all. And this played a vital role on how I felt and what I was doing, in a sense. And most people don't realize how dangerous that could be to you, that to lead to where I was already at, which led me to just being suicidal or even having suicidal thoughts. So I had to change that. When I was changing my eating habits, I began to feel so much better and a lot of things were more clear for me. And on top of that, what I was drinking did play a key role, because I was drinking different waters and concentrated juices. Juices, when we say concentrated, what it means is for juices that it has water added to it. And then water alone, what most people don't realize is there is fluoride in it. And fluoride is usually used for what we would call rat poisoning. The rat poisoning, per se, is what makes your mind docile. So taking the time to experiment like I did, in a sense, and my experience personally, I had to experiment on my water and my drinking habits. I drink ordinary water and I stopped drinking that and I went to distill. But what I didn't realize about distill was the simple fact, and we actually talked about this again in the Pink Elephant, was that the material used to create the osmosis, which is a liquid from a gas to a liquid, had still allowed different chemicals to come from the air back into the water. And we proved this through pH levels. Sorry about that. We proved this through pH levels, which allowed us to figure out what was really going on, in a sense. And then from there, it teaches you about your own health and growing it. But on top of that, the best thing about growing that love is to understand the simple small things in order to grow it. A smile, a hug, taking the time to converse with someone about their day, because many people don't honestly do that for others around them. When you're taking the time to converse, care about people, love people, simply even say I love you or give them the action of showing your love, you are showing true love in its highest form and showing the God, the goddess, and creator within. And this is simply part one.